Hi guys, welcome to Learning Electronics Repair. We have a resistor here. Yeah, this is from the air conditioner that I repaired on the previous video. So the problem with this is the resistor, if I just measure across it. Okay, it's open circuit, completely open circuit. Plays tiddlywinks as well, quite nicely. So let's just hold on to it. Okay, no tiddlywinks, that's my fingers. Take my fingers away from the probes, it reads open circuit. And this was what was causing the fault on the unit. I eventually found out what the correct value is, or rather Detlef did. It called into the workshop, did a bit of Googling from the part numbers of the PCB, and eventually figured out what this was and found some high-res pictures, and we knew what the resistor was. I also mentioned at least one subscriber sent me the service manual, and somebody else sent me a photo of this component off another one, and we can all see it is an 18k resistor. But what if you weren't quite so lucky? What if you couldn't find any information from the PCB number and you weren't lucky enough for somebody to actually send you the information you want? Yeah, you could ask on forums and places, but say you couldn't find it, you need to work out what the value of this resistor is. Well, this is something I actually didn't really consider the answer to, but a couple, in fact 3 subscribers on the channel actually commented. And here we can see from Colin McKay. Hi Colin. So as you can see, Colin said you could also have used a small file or Dremel type tool to file one end of the resistor down. You should now be able to see where the resistor coil is broken or burnt and measure each side and deduce the value. Okay, of which I think that's an interesting idea. I've not actually thought of this one before. We have Dwayne Plum. Hi Dwayne, yeah. Going to suggest the same thing, but you beat me to it. He's done it many times on resistors that have blackened beyond recognition. It works well. And another one, oh, that's such a long name. Pulverostum, no. Hi mate, hi Paul. And he says, yes, this is something I practice myself. I usually make a score in the middle of the resistor and try to get a value from either leg to the center and then double that to get the reading that you require. Guys, what an excellent idea, and thank you for teaching me another trick here. So I thought the rest of you guys would be really interested in this. We have a lot of thumbs up. I have to just add to them myself, of course. Oh, I thumbed myself up. Never mind. Can you say that on a polite video? Anyway, let's go back to what we were doing. So, the suggestions then. Dremel across one end, or probably both ends, and then see if we can see where the resistance wire is broken. Second one, Dremel in the middle, and then measure from one end and the other end to the middle. Hopefully the fault is not at the middle, it's at one side or the other, and you can read the value and then double it. Okay, I like both of these. So this resistor, just looking at it now, I don't visibly see any indication like a crack in the ceramic or something like that that would tell me which end or which part of the resistor has the burnt track. Okay, there's nothing there to tell me. So I'm going to go, because of that, with the idea of Dremeling in the center, and then see if we can get a reading from one leg to the other. So let's give this a go. So nobody mentioned what type of tool they use on the Dremel. I mean, this is a broken one, but I have some of these which are not broken. This is a cutting disc, basically. It's quite narrow, but I'm going to try something a bit wider than that. So this is a wider one. Hopefully I can just scratch a nice piece out of the center of the resistor there. I have tools like this, but I don't think that is going to be as useful. Obviously this would give a wider place where it's scratched. So I think I'll try this one, but I've never tried this before, and we'll just try to go for here. So I'm going to clamp this resistor in a small vise. I don't want to hold onto this and try to grind away at it at the same time. Yeah, so let's put it into a small vise and then let's see how we get on. Okay guys, I do have a small bench vise, but I have to clamp it to the side of the bench, and then you guys wouldn't be able to see what I was doing, not easily with the camera position. So I've actually just taken a little G-clamp and just clamped it to the lid I usually use when I'm sort of soldering with hot air, yeah, so as not to burn the bench. I can see from this angle quite clearly where the halfway mark is. You guys won't quite see so well, so we're going to try and just grind away this little area here and see whether we can get to the track inside the resistor without cutting through it. Let's have a look. So the centre I can see is about here. Yeah, you can see scraping away. I'm near the middle, a bit more. Ah, okay, so we can see that I can visibly see the internals of the resistor. We can see it. So let's try this. I'll measure from one end of the resistor and I'll try to get into the centre of here. Now we know this is an 18k resistor, so can we see anything? Oh, well, I have something there, 9k. You see it? Just get a good connection onto the leg. Well, I had something. There, 7.7. So a little bit more. Maybe the breaker's somewhere here. Let me go from the other end. Let me see what I get from the other end. Just on the leg. 7.7. 8. 9. 10. And then it goes open. I have to say this works pretty well. So I'm seeing about 7.5, which says it's about a 15k. It's actually an 18. And it also suggests that the failure point in this one is actually somewhere near the middle. Let me scrape away a little bit more. Okay, and then we get under the microscope. Okay, so in my slightly heavy-handed way, that didn't quite work the first time it did. So I did get like around half the reading, so I had a good idea what this is. What I'm thinking now maybe is how many turns are on here. Well, it looks like we have one. That seems to be like the end cap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 8 turns here. So I'm thinking now, if we measure the resistance of 1 turn of the resistance track and multiply it by the number of turns, how will that come out? Let's have a look. So we're getting there. And that gives us 4, extremely close to 4K, okay? How many turns have we got? Well, if this is the end cap, yeah, scrape to that's the end cap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this the end cap? Yeah, you can see it better now. So there we go. So we've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. Okay, 1 turn measured 4K, so 5 times 4 is 20K. And we know this is an 18K resistor. Guys, this works. Yeah, this clearly works. Maybe that was a slight variation on the original method that I was described, but putting these suggestions together, this definitely works. So there is a very good way to determine the value of a resistor if it's burnt. Yeah, the markings are all gone and you can't see what it is. Unless the track actually vaporized altogether, all of it, I'm confident you will be able to get the value of the resistor probably within about 10% of what it should be. And I think that's good enough. Yeah, you don't get 20K resistors, so you'd have to say this is probably an 18 or 21. You could also figure out how I'm measuring exactly to the end of the track, so it's probably measuring a little bit more than 1 turn there actually. So yeah, I think there's a very likelihood you will come and say, yeah, 18K. You can see, guys, as well, I've just now managed to just effectively pick away at the rest of the ceramic it came off. So you can quite clearly see that where I was measuring the 4K was between this track which I cut there, and if we rotate it over, you'll see it's a continuous track, like a spiral, and it comes back to that one next to it. So you can see measuring from there to there, in fact, it's measuring 1 turn. Got to be one of the shortest videos I've made, but I thought it was really, really interesting. So thanks for watching. See you all soon, guys. Ciao.